I'm still so annoyed about this. Okay, so background. I played a few games with this guy before, but no actual campaign, and he wasn't that problematic at first. There were some red flags that I didn't notice until later. Like he wanted us to critique our own roleplay and wanted a huge breakdown review of his session. It was such a pain because he always complained about how bad the session was for him and how he could do better, which would cause the group to grovel at his feet for an hour or so, saying things like how cool and awesome he was. Then this guy, let's call him Rob, told the group that we were going to be doing STRAHD, and I was legitimately excited. STRAHD is one of my favorite modules. I love horror and gothic horror, so I didn't really care about the red flags I mentioned earlier, because he promised we'd all get a chance to DM, and kind of pass it around as a group experience since people wanted to try their hand at DMing. This sharing stopped when it got to Rob's turn. We got to Death House incredibly early because the guy DMing, Kurt, wanted to get us invested. Rob made him stop the session because he nearly got our characters killed. So we had a week-long cliffhanger, and that's when I noticed it. See, Rob's character, Connor, was a nobleman barbarian. We played on Roll20 so you could see this whenever he rolled for attacks or whatever. Except, at some point, Rob had changed Connor to be a sorcerer paladin warlock multi-class. No real explanation, no in-game explanation either, not even a heads up. He just shoots magic now and zips around constantly. Connor even suspiciously looks like Rob even more now. And then the whole mood of the campaign changes. We went from dark, oppressive gothic horror to Marvel's Avengers. I kid you not, he constantly tried being the Iron Man of the group, cracking quips, trying to be cool, and generally obnoxious. He then starts telling our characters that he's actually Sergei, STRAHD's brother, reincarnated, and that's why he got magic powers now. My husband and I look at each other and mute the call when this happens because we can't help but laugh. The whole campaign goes downhill from here. Rob tries making Connor the center of attention in everything. Then he chucks out the STRAHD module and says he's going to improve it. He disregards the module and makes up his own lore and canon without telling anyone ahead of time, getting angry at anyone who says something doesn't line up with his notes. Like someone saying something about orc tribes, only for him to snap and say they don't exist? Actually, calling it his own lore/canon would be a lie. He stole from so many other fantasy series. One thing is being inspired by different stories, but another is ripping off characters, plot ideas, and world building one-to-one from those sources. I could easily tell that he heavily stole from Witcher and Dragon Age because he didn't even bother renaming the NPCs he took from there. It all comes to a head when we're fighting STRAHD. Rob literally has our characters stand there and watch as Connor has this overdramatic, long-winded speech to STRAHD, going on and on about how sad he is that STRAHD is evil. Then they fight. No one else gets to fight STRAHD. It's Rob's moment. He verbatim says, "It's my moment," when someone tries to help his character out. That said character, which just so happens to get nat 20s on all his rolls. The thing that annoyed me the most was the fact that this group actually cheered him on. My husband and I didn't know these people, so we thought they were tired of Rob, but nope, Rob somehow got them wrapped around his finger. My husband and I pretty much left after that. We couldn't handle such a narcissistic DM with a god complex for much longer. In truth, we only stuck around because we liked the dynamic of our two characters. After we left, we took our characters and actually had fun with this new group we found. Later, we found out that Rob used my husband's character as a villain in a sequel campaign just to get back at him. I'm so glad we got out of there. It's one thing to have a DMPC take the spotlight, it's a whole nother thing to have a group of individuals who are cheering for said bad DM. What are these people's lives? I didn't think there were people who actually enjoyed watching the DM play with himself. This really makes me pretty sad. I'm glad that OP got out, but I feel that he might have waited a bit too long. Anywho, what do you all think about this situation?